Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. Now, it's been a very long time since I sat down in front of the camera to film a sit down video because I usually do vlogs, but I do like both of them. It's just I've been so busy, as you guys would have known. I got married at the end of last year and then we went on our honeymoon, and ever since we got back I basically jumped straight back into work. So we've just been like super busy, not to mention in the mix of Felix's birthday after Christmas. It was just a whirlwind of craziness. So I thought I would ask you guys on Instagram if you had any questions about my wedding. So I thought I would do like a post-wedding Q&A today. I didn't get overly too many, but I'm definitely going to answer the ones I did get. And I thought it'd be a bit of fun. Okay, I don't even know if the frame is the same as it was like literally a second ago, but I had to go ask new questions, so I had to set it all up again. So we are gonna jump straight into these questions. So the first one is anything you would not do if you could go back. So I got married in a flower garden, right? And it was absolutely gorgeous. There was a beautiful chapel there, but they didn't really have anywhere to have a reception. So in order to do that, obviously we needed to get a marquee, and I just had my absolute heart set on that. So that's what we did. We went with a marquee. It was quite pricey, but we were very lucky because the following weekend there was another couple that were also getting married in the same location that also needed a marquee, so we split costs. So that was pretty awesome. However, even though I had my absolute heart set on having the entire wedding and the whole reception in this garden, I do feel like it may have been a little bit more sensible to just do the ceremony at the chapel in the flower garden and then go across the road to one of the vineyards where they obviously did wedding receptions, all like inside and stuff. So it would have involved people moving from one location to the next, but it wouldn't have actually been a big deal. But at the time I was just like, well, this is more convenient. We can get a marquee and then people will only need to walk from the chapel down to the marquee, and then we'll have a beautiful view of the gardens and people can just admire the gardens during the whole wedding, and it's just going to be the most fabulous day. I didn't really prepare for rain because I just refused to believe it would rain on my wedding day. So I had all these things organized for a nice sunny canopy area with beautiful decorations such as this, for example. Because it did rain it didn't rain too much, but it did rain enough that during the reception people weren't really able to go and admire the gardens like I imagined they would do. We didn't get that grand entrance into our marquee because it rained. Also inside the marquee, while it was absolutely gorgeous, we decorated it beautifully. It was like literally a dream. Inside the marquee we had to obviously source all of like the chairs, the tables, the bar, the dance floor, and all of that cost money, which is fine because we had it in our budget. But we didn't want the ground inside the marquee to be like covered. I wanted it to be like garden vibes. Where some of the tables were, where our guests were sitting, the rain kind of got under the marquee a little bit and kind of got a little bit muddy, and that really made me upset. Like I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, oh my god, everything is like ruined. But no one was bothered by it at all. Like everyone had a fabulous time. So the next question is, how many dresses did you try on? I can't remember. I actually can't remember. I'm gonna say probably about, oh god, I don't know, maybe about 6 or 7. I'm not sure, it was more than that. I only went to 2 bridal shops, but I feel like I didn't try on that many, to be honest. The first shop I went to, I thought I found the perfect dress. I was like so excited. It was within my budget and it was just everything I wanted, but parts of the dress kind of made me not look that flattering. So I was a bit like, oh, I don't know, but we put it on hold anyway while I went to another bridal place. I took my sister Taylor with me. The next place we went to, I felt really overwhelmed. It felt like a different environment by the way their customer service was. Like, they were both really lovely, but this woman in this particular bridal shop was grabbing dresses left, right and center, which she thought would suit me, whereas the first place kind of just let me choose. Even though the woman that was grabbing all these different dresses, I didn't want to try all of them on. I only tried on the ones that like I thought looked pretty or I thought would look alright on me, even though she tried to push a few on me that I just wasn't comfortable getting into. For example, I didn't want to have something that I was completely backless in, because I'm really self-conscious of my back. So I'm like, no backless. You can't talk me into that. I'm gonna say it was definitely under 10. But it was a long time ago. But when I did find the dress, I did get quite emotional. I didn't think that was a thing, that you got emotional, but I now believe it definitely is. It might have something to do with the kind of person you are, because I am a naturally emotional person. But yeah, I got a bit teary, and I just knew. I knew that was the one. Anyway, how did you know when you found the right venue? Okay, so I had a lot of fun Googling different places in my area and kind of like the outer surrounding areas of where I live. But I did know that I really wanted to get married in a beautiful flower garden. I just love that kind of vibe. And my sister-in-law, Ashley, actually found this place. So we actually went out and visited this place, and it was just absolutely stunning. Like, there was flowers everywhere. There was this absolutely spectacular chapel. There was this lake outside the chapel. So Nick knew straight away, and I knew straight away, this was my place. This was definitely our place. And Nick was really impressed with the chapel as well, and he was just really eager to like get a date locked in right on that day. I do feel like we could have looked at other places, but like, that was the vibe I was going for. That was the place I wanted, and I didn't want to leave. So I'm like, I can totally see myself getting married here, and Nick agreed. So yeah, that's how we found our wedding location. Sorry you guys, my stomach's growling. I need to eat some food. What were the most stressful aspects of planning a wedding? Okay, there's a lot, definitely. Me refusing to come up with some kind of wet weather plan was definitely one of them, because I was just adamant that it wasn't going to rain, and it did. So that was stressful, because leading up towards the wedding I continuously was checking the weather and panicking because I didn't actually have a proper backup plan other than get all the canapé cocktail stuff inside if it does rain, like, because we had someone on standby to help move it all in. But like in my head I just envisioned this beautiful sunny outdoor setting for like cocktail hour while we're getting our photos taken. Like, Nick had painted these beautiful palettes for me, and we had these beautiful dried arrangements that I now have in the house just on the palettes, and we had a grazing table. Oh my god, it was amazing. And obviously, because it did rain, all of that had to be brought inside. I even had gorgeous blankets and pillows and everything that didn't really get used. Also, the pandemic. So we got married before our borders opened. So if we did get a case or two down in Tasmania, we had the potential of having restrictions. Or if things got out of hand, we had the potential of going into a lockdown, which Hobart actually did before our borders opened. So I was panicking non-stop about my wedding getting cancelled, which, in saying that, I feel almost selfish, because people on the mainland did have to postpone their weddings multiple times, and I didn't have to. So but now with the borders open, we've started to accept COVID, because I mean, it is a thing and it's everywhere now, and we have to learn to live with it. But I do believe now that you still can have a wedding, but I imagine you would have to wear a mask. But yeah, before our borders opened, like, I just didn't really know what was going to happen. So I was obsessively checking like the news and just things like that, and just going out of my mind. Other stressful things. Oh gosh, how much time do you guys have? Oh god, so much preparation. What stressed me out so much, just organizing time frames and trying to figure out where people are going to sit and whether people can come, like, from the mainland. Like, we had family from the mainland, we weren't sure if were able to come because of the pandemic, and there were people that couldn't come. And What else was stressful? Oh, a whole ton. If you've been married, you know, like, there's definitely something that stresses you out for sure. And I'm a big stress head, so a lot of things were stressing me out. Okay, next question. Are you going to sell your wedding dress? Probably not. I love my wedding dress. It is beautiful and amazing, and I wore it as much as I possibly could until it got so like hard to like move around in at the wedding, because obviously it was a little bit wet. So yeah, it's really meaningful and special to me, and if I do have a daughter one day, I like the idea of passing it down, even though she might be like, ew, what is this? You know what I mean? How did you plan your wedding? And how does it feel to be married? Okay, how did you plan your wedding? We had a whole year in advance to plan our wedding, so I guess we did everything gradually. So we didn't go with a wedding planner, as I wanted to do most of it myself. Plus, we also knew we had to put our money towards other things in order to have the wedding that we imagined. I spoke to a few people who have been married before. One of my work friends gave me a lot of advice, which was really helpful. She told me what the most important things are to book in first and to do first. So I wouldn't have even bothered to look for a dress so early in advance unless she told me to do that. So a year in advance, I looked for my dress and found it. And we got a photographer nailed down. We got our venue nailed down. And yeah, we just, all the other things we gradually organized. Okay, and how does it feel like to be married? Honestly, it feels the same, in my opinion. I don't feel any different. I think Nick and I still are the same people. We still love each other the same. I do feel like, however, we are talking a little bit more sensibly when it comes to like money and finances and future planning and yeah, just things like that, I guess. Just trying to make more frugal decisions and yeah, just grown-up stuff, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't really feel any different at all, other than the fact I've got another ring on my finger, which is like super pretty. It's rose gold, by the way. After Nick said his vows, how did it make you feel hearing the words he spoke to you that he wrote himself? Well, I was quite caught up in the moment. It was quite emotional. I just felt so blessed to be hearing someone say these beautiful things to me. I felt very loved, and there was one part of the vows that he said that I'm so glad he kept in there, because he wasn't sure if he was going to, because only Nick and I understand what it means. But it was so meaningful that he put it in there, and that's what really, like, oh, it was just so lovely and so nice. I wish I could go back to that moment, but we have a special book that has our vows in it, so I can always go back and read it. What song did you play walking down the aisle, and what was your first dance song? Okay, so I will just tell you guys all the songs that we went with. So I walked down the aisle to Never Be the Same by Camila Cabello. I wanted that song since like even before we booked our venue, I think, and Mum was like trying to talk me out of it. I'm like, no, this is what I want. Nick didn't even like it either, but he's like, you're the one walking down the aisle, not me, so you just pick what you like. So I went with the radio version edit instead. So we signed our marriage certificate to the song Lover by Taylor Swift, and then Nick and I walked out to Daisies by Katy Perry. He didn't really want that song, but I really badly wanted that song because daisies are my favorite flower, and we're getting married in a flower farm, and I just thought that song would be perfect. So he finally was like, okay, if that's what you want, I don't really care. And then our first dance, I let Nick actually choose that song, and he went with a song by the Dave Matthews Band, which was so meaningful to me because he knows how much I love the Dave Matthews Band, and the song was called Here On Out, which we actually got our, we had a duo perform. We also had a speaker with a music playlist on Spotify that would only play that when the performers were like having a little break, and they sang that song for us while we did our first dance, and it was so beautiful. It was so lovely. The only thing is we didn't get like an entry, like, you know, grand entrance to the marquee song because of the rain. So once we got driven down from the chapel down to the marquee, everyone else had to walk with umbrellas. Sorry guys, by the way. there was no timing for us to be like, you know, walking into the market because it was raining, so we all had to like scurry in. Yeah, they were my songs. I'm really happy with them. And yeah, I think this might be the end of the video, otherwise I'm just going to keep dragging on and rambling, which you guys don't need to hear. So I'm really hoping you enjoyed my video today. If you have any more questions about our wedding, or if you want me to do some kind of like wedding planning video, I'm happy to do that. I just don't really want to plan someone else's wedding because it took a long time and it was quite stressful. I definitely will be making more videos this year. I'm really motivated and excited to do so. My next video is going to be a fun little holiday I'm going on with one of my best friends and her partner and her son. You've seen them in videos before, so we're gonna have a great time. That'll be a really fun vlog, and we've got a really fun additional video lined up ready to go to plan for you guys. That's gonna be really, really cool. But anyway guys, I'm gonna go now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe down below if you are new, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. But until then, I hope you stick around and have a wonderful day. Bye.